Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can develop your own guitar style. Let's get into it. So what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. My name's Ray. I'm a guitar player here on YouTube, and I'm really excited to make this video today. The reason why I'm so excited because developing your own style as a guitarist is arguably one of the most fulfilling and gratifying things you could do with the instrument. And all the legends, all the guitar heroes, they all have their signature style, whether it's their sound, their look, all the above, right? We all can think of Eddie Van Halen. Close your eyes, you know what he looks like, you know what you envision, the stripes, and you hear the sound, the Phase 90, etc. You know, like, there's a dozen examples of that right there, but for the sake of time, I won't touch on them all. But anyway, we, as guitar players, really would love to have our own sound, our own style, and our own identifying brand, we'll call it. And you know, everybody, over the last couple years, I really think I've honed in on what I want to be as a guitar player and developed my own style. And, you know, I personally feel like I'm on the right path for my own creative vision. And over the last couple years, there's 4 things that I really think helped me develop my own style. And I want to share them with you all right now, okay? All right, number 1 is be original. Now, I'm putting this one first, and I'm putting it in air quotes because it's so overplayed, I think. I think it's like the biggest cop-out answer of like developing your own style. Well, just be original. Like, that's just such a blanket statement. And like, oh yeah, obviously, right? But what does that really mean? So what I want to do is take be original and kind of rework it and make it a little bit more target focused and specific. Rather than say be original, I would say be your best self. Still kind of cheesy, kind of generic, kind of obvious, right? But let me explain. I view be your best self as this, and I'm quoting Steve Vai, the legendary Steve Vai. He ignores his weaknesses and only focuses on his strengths. I can't remember what interview it was. It's been years and years since I first heard him say that. But basically, he's kind of given a clinic of sorts, and he just says, you know, I completely ignore my weaknesses. And I took that and just ran with it for my own individual self, and I want to help you guys understand what that means, in my opinion. You probably have something that you're really, really good at technically on the guitar. Down picking, tapping, string skipping, sweeping, tapping. I think I already said that. But anyway, there's probably something on the guitar that you're technically really proficient at. I encourage you to just make that your bread and butter. Eddie Van Halen, tapping. Zakk Wylde, pinch harmonics. James Hetfield, down picking. Jason Richardson, really, really fast stuff, etc., etc., etc. I could keep going on and on, but all those players that I just named, they all have their bread and butter, their 1-2 punch, their knockout punch, their shtick, their thing, their niche, all the above, right? All of those buzzwords aside, all of those players that I just named and their fancy trick that they have that they always pull out, well, that's their identifying niche, their identifying character as a player. And we as the audience can all think of those players and put the technique and or the shtick or whatever you want to call it and put it to the player. We can instantly think of their identifying style. So for you, be your best self, ignore your weaknesses. Whatever you're technically good at, I encourage you to just make that your thing, okay? You know, I'm always working on my craft, but if I had to pick 2 things that I'm good at, it's pinch harmonics and slow, bouncy riffs, okay? I make everything have pinch harmonics and I make everything have that bounce. That's what I'm good at. So I've made those things my best self. I put them in my toolbox and I use them all the time, and that's my identifying thing, okay? So I ignore my weaknesses, lead playing in general, right? And I just made my strengths my identifying thing, and I encourage you guys to do that as well. So be your best self, and whatever you're technically good at on the guitar, just run with it and make it your bread and butter, okay? All right, second thing I encourage you to do is write every single day. One thing I'm really fortunate enough that I'm doing and have done over the past 5.5 years now is I've written riffs publicly on the internet almost every single day. This channel has forced me to write almost every single day for a demo, for an original song, for, you know, whatever, man, a collab, all the above, but I'm always writing for this channel. And regardless if you have a YouTube channel, Instagram, or what, social media aside, I just encourage you to write every single day. I'm going to use another legend as an example here, Ed Sheeran, when talking about his writing process, or everybody's writing process. To paraphrase what he said, he kind of used a metaphor of like a clogged faucet, we'll say. He said you're going to turn on the water and it's all going to be mud originally. It's just going to be full of crap, we'll say, and just dirty water and just mud and just not usable material, to put it in the context of riff writing or just songwriting, okay? But as this faucet continues to clear itself, the water is going to become less muddy and more clear, and eventually you're going to have a clear faucet with clear, pure water, we'll say. So now you, being a creative person, being a writer, being a musician, the more riffs you write, it's going to be like that faucet. It's going to be kind of crappy at first and muddy and just not usable, but over time, throughout the duration of you writing riffs every single day, they're going to get better and better, and eventually they're going to be some really great riffs, but you have to work it out yourself. I'm sure there's somebody out there, but everybody who picks up the guitar for the first time generally doesn't write a masterpiece the first time they attempt to, right? You got to get better at it. You got to hone your craft. You got to work on it every single day, as with anything in life. Whether you're a pitcher trying to, work on your curveball, or, you're a guitar player trying to work on your riffs. You got to work on your craft. So I just encourage you to write every single day, okay? Number 3 is very close to number 2, and that is write for yourself and only for yourself. Don't try to please anybody but yourself. When I first started getting a lot of hate back in the day on videos and riffs and stuff like that, there's a lot of people out there that just don't like me, and that's okay. But, the last thing that I would ever try to do is try to please those people. But honestly, I really just want to please myself first and foremost. And I encourage you as a guitar player, as a musician, to write for yourself and please yourself. It's great if other people love it, and you hope the audience loves it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you have to love it and you have to be proud of it, because if you're not proud of it, chances are other people won't get behind it either. And trying to cater to the people who don't like you or just the naysayers, it's never going to work, man. It's an uphill battle. It's a losing battle. You'll never win. So don't ever try to please anybody but yourself, okay? And tip number 4 on how to develop your own guitar style is this: inspire yourself. I personally have a fun little way to try to gauge on if I like my own creative stuff or not. And it's this: I'll write a song, I'll create an arrangement, whatever. I'll let it sit for the day, and then in the morning, I'll come back to it and I'll visit it and I'll hit play. And if I can make myself make the stank face, like the, like the, if I write something and I do that, I think it's good. I think that is a good way to gauge on it if I like it. And I'm inspiring myself because the 17, 18-year-old teenager me who loves metalcore or who loves, just heavy stuff will always be in there. So when I'm writing heavy stuff, metal guitar focused stuff, if I can please, like I said, that teenager in me that makes the stank face, like first time hearing Constellations by ABR or whatever. Anyway, if I can kind of tap into that, and if I'm trying to write something heavy and I make myself make that face, I'm inspired, man. So however you can personally inspire yourself, I encourage it, man. Make it happen. Because there's nothing cooler, in my opinion, than kind of being able to, surprise yourself in a way. Last person I'll use as a source is the almighty, legendary Eddie Van Halen. There's a video out there on YouTube where he's talking about his own guitar skills, and sometimes he catches himself inspiring himself, and as he says it, quote, freaks himself out a little bit and says it's a little magical. I think that's one of the coolest videos, man, because Eddie Van Halen was blowing his own mind, you know what I mean? So that's super rad to see and hear from the king himself. So not everybody's an Eddie Van Halen, obviously, but if you can just create something that makes you happy and makes you feel good, makes you, do your own version of the stank face, oh God, it's so heavy. That's my face. But anyway, if you can make yourself do that, I think it's a winner, and I just encourage you to inspire yourself and make yourself happy, okay? So everybody, that's a long-winded video on how to develop your own guitar style, but that's just my own approach to it, and I just hope you can take something from my experience, my stories, my silly video, and implement it into your own guitar style, okay? So everybody, leave all your thoughts down below on this video, and if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I am out of here. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay metal. See you guys next time. Later.